What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to
200K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
She look fed up. She like...
I was in an Uber. He told me that, what are the last two letters of COVID? ID. There's microchips in the vaccine, and there's your proof.
Oh.
He continued to say,
That's the proof?
COVID-19, first letter of the alphabet is A, ninth letter is I, AI. They're turning us into robots. He also said that the vaccine is full of dead babies, aborted babies, and he doesn't want to be injected with a black girl baby.
What? Wait, what?
Wait a minute.
What? That was the...
What the what?
Hey, listen. I feel like you gotta have a tolerance when it comes to conspiracy. But at the same time, I feel like the A and the I, the ninth letter, this and the third, not as a coincidence. I feel like everything has a reason for it. But that comment was dumb as hell.
He just has to sprinkle a little racism.
He just had to say something ignorant, bro. That was...
What the what?
Oh, okay.
You should be I mean, if that was true, you should be privileged to have a little something in there. The hell?
That
was different. I ain't hear that before.
What?
That's
The
crazy.
pandemic's not real, and started taking his mask off, and I told him, drop me off immediately.
That's
He
crazy.
accused me of not being able to handle the truth.
In middle school, like 7th grade, 6th grade maybe, and a student peer of mine said, aren't Jewish people extinct? Me, a Jew.
I saw another video that had the same answer as this, but it happened to me, so I'm going to let you know. I am from Jamaica. I got here in 2018, early 2019. And I worked at Trader Joe's, so I'd interact with a lot of white people. A lot of people were always like, oh my God, how's your English so good? And I'd have to explain to them that we speak English in Jamaica. But I forgave them because it is Latin America and they probably think we all speak Spanish. But I remember one time this old lady that was always friendly with me, always used to cash out at my register. One day she said to me how we got around in Jamaica, and I was genuinely confused. Like, what do you mean, how do we get around? She's like, you know, if we use cows and donkeys. And I was like, no, we drive cars. And she goes, there are roads there? And I go, yeah, like paved streets. And she goes, oh my God.
She living in the pickle.
Well, first off, I want to say I'm Native American of the UMA. But we all know who you mean by American.
I ain't seen a unibrow in a long time. That's a unibrow or is that a shadow?
That's a unibrow.
I ain't seen one of them in a while. I'm sorry. See, I'm sorry. I had to point it out. Y'all, I ain't seen one of them in so long. It's like, okay, back to the vid.
This American asks me, why do me and my son have long hair, right? Since we're boys or whatever, and I was like, we're Native American, or of the Yormi tribe, and he goes, no. I was like, excuse me. He goes, Native Americans are extinct. We kill all of them. I'm like, are you serious? And I noticed he had a bag from the Desert Diamond Casino, and I go, who do you think runs the casinos? And he kind of looks at me with a blank expression. I'm like, we're not all dead. Dumbass. Oh, excuse me. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Sometimes you gotta call it like it is.
So I'm in.
You know what? This one hurt. This whole video just hurt. This is like,
I don't know, bro. It's like it's giving. This is coming from like a one-sided type of group.
It's giving people still stuck in the 1800s.
Yeah. It's like it's.
What's wrong with you?
Okay. All
Boy,
right.
it gets worse and worse.
I think it will.
American. I live in London. My boyfriend is English. And the first time I took my boyfriend back to America to see where my family lives, after years of being together and months of planning this trip, we landed at the Louisville International Airport, and my boyfriend looks up and sees Louisville and looks at me and asks, when do we get to go to Kentucky? Don't make fun of us all the time for not knowing where your towns and cities are.
That was
That's hypocritical.
Yeah.
So I studied with this African American guy in
Lord.
Beijing, and he was like talking about how he wants to visit Africa and stuff, but it's too dangerous. I was like, not everywhere in Africa is dangerous. Zambia is actually very safe. And he's like, nope. The last time I checked, you guys are always burning each other, always have wars and kill each other. I'm like, what is this nigga talking about? Like, literally. Hold on, check this out. What you see right here is the Global Peace Index for 2020. In Iceland, New Zealand, they're obviously up there.
They're the peak.
And then we have Zambia over here coming at number 44, if you can see that. And then we've got the mighty United States of America coming at 121.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not logical. We've never had war since the British, my nigga. Since the British.
So, family vacation in Disneyland. Some guy hears us talking and says, hey, are you guys from Canada? My dad goes, yeah, we're from Canada. And the guy's like, oh, okay. We can see he's like, clearly wants to ask something. And eventually he gets up the courage and he's like, so, what's it like down here? And my dad's like, oh, we like Disneyland. Yeah, it's cool. The guy goes, no, but like, what's it like driving? So my dad asks, well, what do you mean? And the guy goes, so do you get like cars at the border, or how does that work? So me, being the eternal jackass of my family, interject. I say, yeah, they got a little training spot at the border, and you trade in your sled dogs, and they look after them. There's like a fee or whatever. But yeah, we get to drive and try it out. They even let me drive. I was like maybe 10 at the time. Then, no word of a lie, as my dad is expecting this random stranger to lose his mind, the stranger go, wow, that Canadian education system is
Bro,
really great.
that's what I was just finna say. It's like when you that one person who said that one thing out loud that everybody else is thinking, because somebody's asking like such a stupid question, you actually feeding this person information they think, like, they was just thinking what you just said, basically, you know what I'm saying? And now they believe you 100% because it's like, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that too. Wow.
man.
That's how it be.
We need a revival in the education system.
That's how it be. I mean, honestly, though.
For real, though, because
Honestly.
Canada's just right there. It's not like our borders are connected. How else do you think people drive
Some people.
to and from Canada? Like when they have jobs and want to visit. What?
Some people probably think Canada's just snowed in. Mm-hmm.
I'm embarrassed.
It's okay.
Okay, so I studied abroad in America in 2014. Yes, I'm that old. And I got talking to a guy in a bar, and he asked me that age-old question if I ride kangaroos to school. And I was like, no, obviously I don't ride kangaroos to school. I ride emus. Kangaroos are so old school. Anyway, he ate that up.
Whoa.
And then he asked me how long I'd been living in America for, and I said, oh, about 2 months at this point. And he's like, wow, your English is amazing for someone who hasn't been here that long. To which I had to laugh and say, we speak English in Australia. And he like wasn't even ashamed. He was like, oh wow, really? You learn something new every day.
Some people just haven't unlocked certain part of their brains yet.
Why do we speak English?
Some people just haven't explored their internet world yet enough to at least, watch a video.
I learn about someone new.
I just learned about something. Somebody hasn't made a time to learn about something. But obviously he was trying to learn. The question about kangaroos, I felt like was just overstepping. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like that was
come
a
on
joke.
now.
That was just, it had to be.
Come on now.
But,
We don't have the what is it called? The little carriages anymore. Well, I mean, some places when you want to be romantic and stuff. But I'm saying like on a regular
they
basis.
upscaled it.
On a regular basis,
They got
we not
upscaled,
being pulled by horses.
Mm-hmm.
So, come on now.
I lived in Florida for about a year as an exchange student from Colombia, and somebody asked me what language I spoke, and before I said anything, he said, "What, Mexican? That's not even a..."
Okay, so I was born in Venezuela,
Was
but
that
I
a-
grew up in the U.S.
Why you
and
clipping
my
like that?
parents and I, we've gotten
That's
asked
funny.
if we have cars, elevators, traffic lights, fast food restaurants,
Wait, where you
sidewalks,
from?
What, Mexican? That's not even a...
They clipped that
Okay, so I
terrible.
was born in Venezuela, but I grew up in the U.S. and my parents and I, we've gotten asked if we have cars, elevators, traffic lights, fast food restaurants, sidewalks, houses and apartments in Venezuela.
Oh.
Yes, we do. Why wouldn't we have those things? I don't understand, but okay. My dad told me this funny story of how in the 70s my uncle dated this American girl and they lived together in an apartment in Chicago. And apparently she thought that in Venezuela people didn't have kitchens. And so when my dad and grandpa went to go visit them, she was like, "Come here. You see this? This is a fridge." And she started doing that to everything in the kitchen and they were like, "Okay, we know." And so months later she went to go visit them in Venezuela and realized that people do have kitchens, and you could tell that she was so embarrassed and she felt stupid. And my grandpa was like, "Come here." And he reenacted everything that she did when they went to go
That's
visit
funny.
her. And so
No, but
Quite possibly.
shout out to GP, man, because he had enough patience to wait for that encounter.
Right, he was waiting on.
Oh, he's waiting on that
He
day.
was waiting.
Ooh, he said, "I waited this long. I got something for you." Man, that's...
Best thing that's ever happened to me, and I will tell this story any chance I get. So we're in Costa Rica and we're playing volleyball with a big group of Europeans. All of a sudden one of them scores and he goes, "Kobe Bryant."
So the story still continues because
Don't
we
be
just had a
bringing up
day
the late
full
great.
of really dumb
Keep his name out of
comments.
it.
And it was my friend's birthday, and we ended up being at Tao for dinner. And when we were
rewind, 'cause I
ordering drinks,
wasn't-
of course, a day full of...
Y'all don't play with Kobe.
You want
play
from
with
the top?
Kobe.
You need that one from the top again?
Yeah, let's do that one from the top. Volleyball.
And so
This is quite possibly the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I will tell this story any chance I get. So we're in Costa Rica and we're playing volleyball with a big group of Europeans. All of a sudden one of them scores and he goes, "Kobe Bryant."
I don't know. That's supposed to be funny because she said, "I'll tell this story anytime." It's like, what you want people to get out of that story? That story don't have no real substance. I don't get it. Volleyball, Kobe don't even...
That's a sensitive topic. Don't be playing with the late great. Okay?
So the story still continues because we just had a day full of really dumb comments, and it was my friend's birthday and we ended up being at Tao for dinner. And when we were ordering drinks, of course, they were checking our ID, and the first ID that she got was my friend's whose birthday it was, and she just walked off with it. She was like, "I need to go get my manager." We were like, "Oh, that's so strange." And her and the manager come back and we're like, "This is a fake ID." And we were like, "No, it's not." She was like, "There's no 23rd month. And there's no state of Queensland." And we all had to be like, literally everywhere else in the world does it day, month, year. And it's from Australia. So, of course, there's no Queensland in America. We're Australian. And she was like, "No." And then the manager had to be like, "Oh, sorry."
I'm
Bruh,
a
so,
service agent, and an American guy had called in. We quickly started talking, and I mentioned that I was from Cape Town. He tried to mention a few places in Cape Town that he could remember. So he mentioned Table Mountain, and he started talking about the animals that we have, you know, like the lions that roam the earth. And then he quickly said that he can remember that we had a natural disaster called apartheid. At first I thought he was talking about the ocean, but then I realized that he thought apartheid was a natural disaster. So I quickly moved the conversation away from that topic, and I asked him if I could further assist him on his account. Because, what?
Okay, so I live in America and I'm obviously not American, and the list is so long, but by far my absolute favorite, and I get it all the time, is what is the weather like in Australia?
It's hot.
Very.
The whole country?
This one?
General.
Yeah.
Just general.
So, being that this was some like the dumbest questions, I feel like these were conversation fails.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nobody who had like a, maybe I could have, I'm just missing it because there were more stupid questions in general, but I feel like no one in there really asked a genuine question. Maybe, no, not even a Canadian dude about the border.
No. I feel like it's just them having a little arrogance, not wanting to learn something new. You know how I always say that people don't know that they're closed-minded?
Yeah. That is a thing.
It's one thing to not know that you're closed-minded, but it's another thing to be so matter-of-fact. Like, I know better than you.
Oh, yeah.
When you're wrong. Like the one with the ID. There's no 23rd month. What?
Now imagine if she would have played along and argued that point to make her, you know, like, just to further along the problem, just to make her look even more stupid.
Right. Now, I know when we started talking about, like, dates and metric systems and things like that in school, they would tell us that there's other forms that people use. Yeah. Like, they would tell us that to be, you know, look out for it. But
yeah. It's not a focus. It's not a hard focus. Like,
right.
We are set to, like, write our date on top of our papers a certain way for the rest of our school year.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it goes. So we're locked in when we do certain things. And now I see why people are failing in certain conversations, because they still are locked in on how school taught them.
Right. Like, this is the way. You know, the United States.
That's a stinger.
And that's why I feel like we are centered in ourselves.
Yeah. I mean,
and nothing's wrong with it, but you just gotta want to know.
Nothing's wrong with it, and it's not the people's fault 100%. Even though they can go pick up a book every once in a while and go figure out more information because you didn't learn life from your experiences in school alone. They did not teach you what you needed 100%. It did not go down like that.
What they say?
What's that?
Wait, say your statement.
But people still have to be responsible enough to go do more research on the masses of what's going on around the world. You know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking that, oh, I'm going to go to this bar, I'm going to get my drink, I'm going to go home, love with my family, or however you're living your life, and that's how life is. Like, wow, it's perfect. No, it's a lot of stuff going on.
They say that they're preparing us for the real world, right? That's all they drilled in our head when we was in school. We're preparing you for the real world. In the USA, that's all y'all taught us.
Until you be like,
say nothing about other countries.
Yeah, y'all say y'all preparing us for the real world, but then when we get to college, we looking at y'all like, oh, we looking over our shoulder like, y'all didn't tell us college was going to be like this.
But college prepared me for the real world. High school didn't.
College is where they stop holding your hand, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, you got people that's going to assist you, you know, that's fine, but the hand holding is not as thorough. They're not doing that.
Now, we actually looked at other places. And although I didn't have a connection to other places like I do now, college taught us that there's more than just the United States.
Yeah. So we had this conversation before, and I want to ask you all, what do you feel you should do in times like this? Do you sit back and truly educate a person? Or do you feel, depending upon how the question's coming out, that it's an arrogant or ignorant statement and you just capitalize off of it by making them feel how they thinking, almost?
I don't know. See, me, the type of person I am, I ask questions. I won't just make a statement as if I know it all. You know, I ask questions like, okay, so do y'all do it like this? How do y'all do it in this area? You know, so, yeah, I don't ever want to come from an arrogant place like that.
Keep growing. Keep growing. You keep knowing. You stop growing, then most times people think they know it all.
Yeah. We are students of life.
Got to stay that way.
Gotta learn something new every single day.
Got to stay that way.
And people don't know a lot about the United States. You know, they know maybe general information, but you gotta help people.
Yeah.
You know? All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.